Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes, awesome. All right. Well, welcome to our 22nd Early Years Healthy Start Fair and our fourth ever virtual one. I'm Amber Bruner. I'm the Early Years Healthy Start Fair coordinator. And on behalf of my team and we want to welcome you and thank you so much for coming today and taking the time out of your busy schedules to learn more about what resources and services are available to you and your family during COVID. So before we begin, I would like to acknowledge and express gratitude for living, working, and playing on the ancestral, traditional, and unceded territory of the Snuneymuxw, Snuneymuxw, and Staminas people. We are grateful to be hosting this virtual fair for Nanaimo families on the traditional and unceded territory. So all of you here today are either parents or caregivers or have some connection to a child 0 to 6. And at today's fair, you will be getting a taste of what free resources and services are available to you and your family currently during COVID. You will be hearing from 10 different organizations here in Nanaimo. As you hear from each speaker, their contact information will be posted in the group chat, as well as sent to you in an email, just in case you want to get a hold of the speaker with any questions that you might have. All the information that you learn today can be found on our website at nanaimoearlyyears.org. And don't worry, at the end of the fair, I'll show you how to access that site. Our fair will last an hour, and at the end of the fair, I will let you know how you can receive your $10 grocery gift card for your participation. Your sound is already muted, and you're welcome to turn off your video if you feel more comfortable or if you have a weak Wi-Fi connection. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a background about the Early Years Healthy Start Fairs. As I said before, this was our 22nd fair and our fourth virtual one. So back in 2014, the Greater Nanaimo Early Years Partnership did a huge community consult. And the feedback that we received from parents was that there was so many great resources and services in Nanaimo, but that there was no one place to go to find out about them. So with that information, we decided that the best course of action would be to build a website, a sort of one-stop shop that would have all the information about all the free resources and services available in Nanaimo for children 0 to 6. And most of you guys are familiar with our website, nanaimoearlyyears.org, and you use it regularly. Then in 2017, we wanted to take it one step further, and we had the idea of a traveling roadshow. So sort of a one-stop shop physical fair of early years services and resources that traveled to different locations and was offered at different times of the day and different days of the week in order to reach those families that we weren't reaching and in order to go to the families instead of expecting the families to come to us. So from 2017 to 2020, we hosted 18 fairs with the generous support of the Children's Health Foundation and Coastal Community Credit Union. And then in March, COVID hit, and we had to revisit how we offered these fairs to families. So we went virtual, and here we are having our fourth virtual fair. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Sandy Halverson from Parent Support Services of BC. Sandy?
Thanks, Amber. Good evening, families. So Parent Support Services is a province-wide nonprofit organization supporting families in BC since 1974. As a parent of grown children, I know parenting can not only be one of the most rewarding jobs, it can also be one of the most challenging. For more than 45 years, we've supported families by offering self-help, peer support style groups for parents and others in a parenting role. One of our underlying beliefs is that parents love their children and they know themselves and their children best. Sometimes parents just need a little bit of support, a listening ear, and a chance to talk with other parents in a safe, supportive environment to find their own answers. We offer free, confidential parent support groups. Prior to the pandemic, they were offered in person in many different communities around the province, including Nanaimo. Since the start of the pandemic, these support circle groups and other services have been offered online. We have a toll-free BC parenting support line open to parents across the province. We offer our parent support circle groups virtually at different times of the day and on different days of the week using Zoom. And we've heard from many parents over the last several months how much they appreciate having a chance to connect with other parents, especially during these challenging times. We've also been offering a virtual parenting book club, kind of like a book club in person, but only online. And what we're currently reading and reviewing is a book called No Discipline. And we'll be opening registration for our spring book club in March. We're teaming up with Vancouver Island University, and we've got 2 webinars planned, same topic, different days. Registered Education Savings Plan, RESPs, the 5 things you need to know to get started from home. The first one is on February 18th at 8 p.m. and the next one's on February 23rd at 8 a.m. I know I'm going kind of quick, but all this information is on our website, and I believe the link is in the chat. The sessions are free. Parents do need to register to get the meeting link. This next bit of information might not be important unless you happen to have school-age children or know someone who does, but we've got some fun things coming up for kids 6 and over. We're offering some virtual camps. The first one is actually next Friday, which you might not know is a provincial Pro D Day. So we're partnering with the Galliano Conservancy Association to explore some of the forest creatures on Galliano Island. And then in mid-March, we'll be also doing some spring break events. And the last thing I want to say is that if you happen to be a grandparent raising a grandchild, or someone raising the child of a relative, or you know someone who is, we have a similar range of supports for kinship-led families. So do feel welcome to reach out to us. And I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And my next task is to introduce you to Kimberly Howland from the Child Development Center. She's going to speak next. Thank you for your time, and over to you, Kimberly.
Thanks, Sandy. I'm just going to try and get my screen up here to share. Is everybody seeing the screen? Awesome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kimberly Howland. I'm the Family Resource Navigator at the Nanaimo Child Development Center, and it's my pleasure to share with you some of the resources that are right here in our community for families. The main focus of the center is definitely for ages 0 to 5, and their main hope is to support families in supporting their children to develop and become the best citizens they can be. So some of the services you can find at the Child Development Center is we have an infant development program for 0 to 3-year-olds. We have an occupational therapy, a physiotherapist, a speech and language pathologist, family development program, and a supported child development program that helps support kids staying within our local daycares. And that is both for early years and during school age. The biggest piece is to remember you can self-refer to the Child Development Center. You don't have to be referred by a professional or a clinician. If you have any questions or just wondering if the development of your child is happening in the right format or at the right milestones, you can just phone and reach out to talk to somebody at the CDC, and they can help you know if it's something that we should refer you to the CDC for an assessment for, or quite often you'll get a transfer to me to help to see if there are maybe other community supports within the center or within our community. We also have non-therapy programs at the Child Development Center. we are the hub or the satellite for having the autism assessment, or the VICAN also does FASD and complex behavior assessments for school-age kids. We have a preschool, unfortunately, that is not working right now, but we're hoping in September to have it back up and running. Under my program as a Family Resource Navigator, I do a lot of work of helping family find resources or learn how to navigate, whether it's the healthcare or the education system. And we do some work around advocacy and what does that look like? How do we do advocacy while keeping positive relationships and ensuring that the focus and the best interest of the child is kept at the discussions. We also run a community play group. Normally we are on site face-to-face, and right now we are running it virtually. We also do knowledge sessions. So at night we have multiple educational sessions that are all offered for free. They are mainly focused at parents, but we also open it up to community members. Our aim there is to try and help support a knowledge enhanced society. And then we have peer-to-peer groups that are run occasionally, and usually we do partner with parent support services as well as other community members. Right now we're not offering those, but we are hoping to get back to them. The Nanaimo Community Play Group runs every Monday and Thursday. We do a lot of interactive songs, movement, games, story time, different themes all the time to try and keep the kids engaged, and also to help their learning and development as we're living in a virtual world. You have to register for these through the Nanaimo Playgroup Facebook page, because that's where we will post the link, just to help support keeping it a safe place. My role is mainly, as I've said, around navigating healthcare, social services, schools. Anything locally is definitely in my realm, but sometimes it's sharing those provincial groups as well. We find community resources around finances, social, health, parenting, and special needs. We do Making Connection webinars, as we said. Here's just some of the topics we've had. We're currently running 3 seminars, one on parenting, one on navigating the school system, and one on ADHD. We hope to have these running regularly, so you can always check our Facebook page for the next set that'll be running. And here's our peer-to-peer groups that sometimes we've been able to hold face-to-face, but we're hoping to be able to hold them virtually in the near future. So bottom line, if you have any questions around the development, the CDC is the place you can call just to see if there is resources or something that you should maybe look at doing in order to support the development of your child. We all thank you for your support and for being here and letting us share with you what we have to offer you as a family. So thank you. And now I'm going to get to share, turn the spotlight over to Erica, who is here from the Tilikum-Lalem Aboriginal Friendship Center.
Or good evening, everyone. It's Erica here from Tilikum-Lalem Aboriginal Friendship Center. I may be having some computer issues, so I hope you are hearing and seeing this okay. Oh, good. Thank you. Awesome. So I am the Building Better Babies and Creating Healthy Families coordinator. And just to let you know a little bit about Tilikum-Lalem, it started, it's a nonprofit organization that started 50 years ago as a coffee shop as a way to connect Aboriginal people and improve their quality of life through using a holistic approach in nature. 50 years later, it's now an organization for Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people. And has 60 programs supporting newborn babies all the way to elders. So the program that I coordinate is called Building Better Babies, which is for prenatal to 6 months of age. At this time during COVID, our focus is on outreach, which includes telephone, Facebook chats, meeting in driveways or going for nature walks or meeting at a beach. We focus on preparing parents for their pregnancy, birth, labor, and delivery, as well as postnatal care, maternal care, and infant care. I'm gonna look at my notes here. We also have connect parents to doulas and dietitians. At Tilikum, we also have a community health nurse that meets with parents and can do vaccinations. We also help with prenatal pregnancy supplies and infant care supplies. We're not able to meet in groups at this time, so we do virtual gatherings. We'll do Facebook Live. We also will do meal kits in partnership with Nanaimo Community Food Share, and which will do a virtual cooking class after we drop off a meal kit. We also provide some pre-made meals to parents. We also look forward to when we can meet in groups again, because parents are really missing that socialization. We also refer to other programs, many of them who are also on this virtual fair. The other program I do is the Creating Healthy Families program, and that's for birth to 6 years of age. Again, that program focuses on outreach. And starting next week, we're going to do one-on-one family time where parents can sign up, and we'll do an activity such as indoor soccer or physical activity, followed by a craft and a snack, and a chance for us to connect with parents and talk about parenting strategies, child development, personal wellness, anything that comes to mind that parents would like to talk about. So we also invite, have connections to dietitians, infant development workers. At Tillicum, we also have counselors if parents feel they need that as well. We have wraparound services that are right in the center. So during those one-on-one time, we can connect them because the space is big enough where we can social distance, but we do keep the amount of people very small, under like 5 people. So that's about it. Sorry if I'm a little discombobulated. I had some technical difficulties which rattled me a bit, but if you have any questions, feel free to connect with us through our Facebook pages or through our websites. I also have my cell number there if you want to call or text me. So I wish everybody good health and wellness for yourselves and your families. Up next, we have Jennifer Fowler from the Nanaimo Multicultural Society.
Thanks, Erica. Hello, everybody. I am Jennifer Fowler from the Central Vancouver Island Multicultural Society. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. It's been an amazing day with all the sunshine and a lovely evening so far with everybody here. I am here to focus on the Central Vancouver Island Multicultural Society. The main message I want to get across to families today in this venue is that the Multicultural Society's main mandate is to serve newcomers. I know not everybody in this forum is a newcomer, but you may have a friend who is a newcomer, a neighbor who is a newcomer, or a family that you know of who is new to Canada. So I think this information will also be important to you to share with them if you know that they might need some support. At the Multicultural Society, our vision is to ensure that immigrants and diverse peoples flourish. Pretty simple as far as I am concerned. I have the pleasure and the horrible task of trying to put into 5 minutes the programs that we do. So I will try to do my best. In short, we like to think that we're leaders in the community with a focus on newcomers, and that piece around equity, diversity and inclusion are core values for us that we really hold dear when it comes to providing our programs. One of our core programs is around settlement. And that's when you come to Canada. I don't know if anybody here is new to Canada, but if you're not, you may have lived in other countries. And anywhere, any new country is full of challenges. It's full of bureaucracy. It's full of how do I catch the bus? How do I open a bank account? Where do I find a home? That's what our settlement team helps you with, is when you get here, when you get to Nanaimo, when you come to Canada, they're the people you need to talk to. Embedded in that is many, many programs, many workshops around that. And they also provide that support to parents when it comes to registering their students. That's known as our settlement worker and school program. The entire settlement team is dedicated to supporting family as a whole. So from zero to grandma. to be honest. So your families can come to the center. From a youth perspective, the Swiss team will be probably the main people you will work with, but also we have our children's programs. The children's programs start with our child minding space. The child minding space is dedicated to clients who are on site. It's special for that. It's for families who access our language programs, families who are there for certain workshops, but we do help the little people. And those little people learn about well-being and belonging. They engage with other young kids. They learn about programs in the community. Literacy is a big thing for the little ones that come to our child minding center. And really trying to just learn about themselves, learn about other kids, and learn to connect. For many of them, it's the first time they've connected with other kids outside of their siblings. And so it's a really neat way for these young people to start to feel that feeling of belonging when it comes to living in the Canadian culture. Another one of our significant programs is the Hippie program for little folks. This is a preschool program, the home instruction for parents of preschool youngsters. Parents are in the title of this program, but it is about the young one. It's about the parents and the children working together to get the child school ready. It focuses on literacy, it focuses on belonging, it focuses on core programming, mathematics, literacy. We've got some core staff who work with you. They come to your home, although not during COVID. As we've all made clear tonight, that's a little more difficult for many of the organizations. A lot of us, if you've already heard, have made a lot of adjustments to our programming. And the Hippie program is one of them. The home visitors don't come home, but they will visit you via this venue. They can visit you via phone. They will find a way. And so their main focus again, is understanding that the parent wants the best for their child. And the parents are their first teachers. That the home can be a core first learning environment. And so the Hippie program will focus on those. They will focus on the parents and they'll work closely with you to ensure that the families are healthier and they get connected to the communities. I've barely touched the surface of the programs that we offer. I know that this is a particular forum for young people, but if you'd like to go to our website, cvims.org, we have many, many other programs. And so I'm going to show you a video now that focuses on some of those, and feel free to contact me at any time. Next up, Jennifer Miller, Crossroads Pregnancy Center. Thank you, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Miller, and I am the Executive Director at the Crossroads Crisis Pregnancy Center. Just want to tell you a little bit about our services and a new program that we started offering last October. So if you find yourself in a position where you think you might be pregnant, you can come in for a free pregnancy test. And if you are pregnant, we can help you sort through your options and talk about your 3 options, which are parenting, adoption, and abortion. Each of those things are unique and have unique details involved with them. And so it's important to chat through and understand what each of them might look like for you. And so we're here to support you in that way. If you go on and decide to carry to term, we have a huge amount of practical supports. Our goal really is to support you in any way we could for the first 2 years of life. So we have maternity clothes and baby clothes, formula, diapers, wipes, gear like strollers and car seats. The only thing we are not able to provide because of insurance requirements are cribs. But we literally have everything else you could imagine, toys and books and all sorts of amazing things, really. Everything's donated from the community. It's so beautiful, and everything's free, and you can have as much as you need. There's no discrimination based on volume of what you might be needing. And if you choose to place your baby for adoption, we are not an adoption agency, so we would refer you to an adoption agency on the island. And from there, we would emotionally support you pre and post adoption. October 15th every year is Infant and Pregnancy Loss Awareness Day in Canada and most places in the world. And so last fall, on that date, we launched a new pregnancy loss program. And we had been already doing post-abortion support for a number of years. But we just wanted to open that scope up to include things like miscarriage and stillbirth, neonatal death, which is if a baby dies up to 28 days after birth, but can also include other things like ectopic pregnancy and adverse diagnosis. So maybe there's been a complication with how baby has been developing and you've been given a really difficult choice to terminate the pregnancy. We're here for you to talk through all of that. The program is very unique depending on each individual person. Pregnancy loss is such a unique thing, and everyone's experience and journey is very different. And so we take every single client or couple and tailor make a program for them, because some people might like to do a book program that's very structured, and some people just really want to talk. I'm currently finishing my designation as an infant and pregnancy loss coach with Doula Canada, and it's been such an amazing program, and I'm really looking forward to providing that in the community of Nanaimo and the surrounding area. And if there's any of our services that you would like to contact us and have us help you with, please just call or text the number that's on the screen. The appointment line that you can text is 24 hours a day, and we would just be delighted to help you and in your journey of parenthood. And next up on the roster is Amy Blow from the Nanaimo School District.
Hello, families. Thanks for coming tonight. My name is Amy Blow, and I'm a learning coordinator for Nanaimo Ladysmith Public Schools, and my portfolio includes the early years. So I get to be here tonight and share with you about our Strong Start. So Strong Start is a free play-based program for families with children from age 0 to 5 years of age. And in our school district, we have 8 different sites. Typically, Strong Start is a free drop-in program, but during COVID, we've come up with different ways to still connect with families. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'll share some of our opportunities that are happening. Excellent. So you can find our Strong Start page on the Nanaimo Ladysmith Public Schools. When you come here, there's schools, programs, early years, and then Strong Start. And when you're there, this is the page that you'll arrive on. We now have our registration. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen fully, am I? Here we go. My apologies. When you come to the Nanaimo Ladysmith Public Schools site, you come to schools, programs, early years, Strong Start, and then you will arrive here at the Strong Start page. And here's where you can find all most recent information for the Strong Start program, including our registration, which is now available online. And you can even submit your documents here as well, your birth certificate. And so we hope that that makes that process easier for you rather than coming in to fill out paperwork. It can all be done in one space online. As well, for one of our virtual opportunities, we are having a Strong Start live circle time. It happens on Wednesdays and Fridays at 9:30 and 10:30. And if you would like to join, you can email me at earlyyears@sd68.bc.ca. And again, all this information will be shared at the end of the presentation. And another opportunity that we've been having for families is our Strong Start Google site. And it has also current information such as our circle time and our registration. But it also has different opportunities that you would like to try at home, possibly with your children. There's all different learning areas here: sensory play, science, nature play, creative play. We have our circle time here as well. And so they contain videos and activities made for you by our facilitators. And then I just have one last exciting announcement to share, is that we have been able to reopen for a reduced capacity and reduced hours at this point in time. And so on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can now book online here. And each of our schools are listed, so you can choose the school you would like to go to once you're registered. I will be honest, the spots have filled up very quickly for February, but letting you know that our March bookings will become available on February 16th. So we appreciate your patience, as we know families are excited to come back at our limited capacity, of course, following our COVID guidelines and protocols with safety first. But just letting you know that there is the booking there available now. So thank you for letting me share this information with you. Next, I would like to introduce Blake Landry from Vancouver Island University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Blake Landry. Thank you, Amy, for the introduction, and thanks everyone else for sharing all this great information. Yeah, I work for VIU, and my role is to basically help promote education savings in Nanaimo. And so it looks like we're running a little bit ahead of schedule. So I think I got to just dive in, and I'm just going to keep talking about education savings for the next 15, 20 minutes. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to give Amber a heart attack here. But essentially at VIU, we really value education. Obviously, that's kind of what we do, but we want to make sure it's accessible for a lot of young people. And that's a question, as many of you might know. Education and just the cost of living is increasing all the time. And so we want to be getting people starting to think earlier and earlier of what it's going to look like to make sure our kids can get there to post-secondary when they're old enough. So we talk a lot about registered education savings plan. They're kind of a really great vehicle to not only get some free funding that's out there that I'll talk about in a little bit, but also a great way, if you can save early, to kind of shelter your money and help it grow before your children get there. So as I said, it's some money that you can set aside for your child's education in an account at your bank. What's great about it is when your child starts going to university or post-secondary, some sort of training program, it can be used for their living expenses and transportation as well. There's actually many things that it can be used for, which is really helpful. And it's a Canada-wide thing as well. It can be used at most post-secondary institutions. So this isn't just something to come to VIU, it's anywhere at all, which we're happy to promote that as well. So why education savings? Well, there's a couple of stats that we like to point out that there's been some research on. One thing is that kids that do have post-secondary savings before they get to the age to go to university are actually 31% more likely to attend than those kids who don't have savings as well. And on top of that, they're actually 4 times more likely to graduate whatever program they start with when they do have the post-secondary savings. Just kind of is rooted in the support that and the dreaming that they can do from a young age, when they just know that that is an expectation that their family or parents or grandparents or whoever might be has on them. And the last thing as well is 80% of future jobs in Canada are expected to require some form of post-secondary education, whether it's a certificate, some sort of training program. So it's really something that we're wanting to prepare for as well, looking ahead. I do want to focus a little bit on some of the free money that's out there right now. So of course, many of you probably have really young children, but there's the BC Education Savings Grant, which is here on the screen too. So if your child is between the ages of 6 to 9 and only between the ages of 6 and 9, they can receive $1,200 for their RESP account that can be used in the future. And why we really put this out there a lot is as soon as your child turns 9 years old, they're no longer eligible. So what we like to encourage is as soon as your child turns 6 years old, let's get them signed up and make sure that that is something that they can access. The second thing is the Canada Learning Bond. There's up to $2,000 there, and this is kind of based on different income thresholds. There's a lot of information on that online. But if you are eligible for that, that is another $2,000 that the federal government will provide. And lastly, there's the Canadian Education Savings Grant, which is matching funds. So if you were to put in $1,000 into an RESP, the government will actually match 20% of that or up to 40% of that, depending on your income as well. So there's some bonus there too that you won't get elsewhere or just in a normal bank account. So just kind of some thoughts there, just to say getting set up is actually quite easy. And we talk a lot about how it can be done from home. One thing that we looked towards is we work with Smart Saver, who are a national charity who help families get set up with RESPs. If you go to their website, you can get a lot of the information already set up in less than 10 minutes. Other than that, I'm always happy to help. My information will be in the chat and also at the end of this presentation here too. And I'm happy to help with any questions that you have. You know, obviously this is just a few minutes here, can't go into so much detail. Or lastly, just go to your bank and ask them about a no-fee RESP and they can help you get set up with that as well. They're always happy to do that too. This was mentioned earlier by Sandy with Parent Support Services BC. We're actually working together to talk more and go into detail about some of the ins and outs and the 5 things that you need to know to actually get set up with your RESP. That will be happening on February 18th and 23rd. I'll actually just put in the chat the link where you can go to sign up for that if you're interested in learning more. But other than that, thanks for having me. Thank you everyone for coming this evening. And without further ado, I'm going to pass things over to Haley from BCAA.
Hello, everybody. My name is Haley Parker. I am here today to present on behalf of BCAA Child Passenger Safety Program. We are part of the community impact team over at BCAA. I am a certified child passenger safety educator with BCAA, as well as the Vancouver Island representative. That big long title just means that during a non-pandemic time, I travel all over Vancouver Island, as well as to the Gulf Islands to present a variety of hands-on workshops and instructional or training clinics. I also participate in many other initiatives involving school communities, firefighters, police officers, public health officials, and most often community caregiver groups. many of which you would have already heard from tonight and will continue to. The purpose of our information sessions is to ensure that caregivers and community members are provided with accurate information on safely using child car seats. There are 3 main steps to this, all of which are covered in detail in our sessions: choosing a seat, installing a seat, and securing a child into a seat. At BCAA, we have many programs that give back to our communities. There are no fees for the sessions that we offer. We are here to provide information and resources to keep your children safe while traveling on BC roads. Child car seats and belts work best when used correctly. As children grow and change, the type of protection system required also changes. It's important to remain up to date with information and get to know your car seat manual. BCAA's Community Child Car Seat Program provides child car seats to eligible nonprofit agencies and community groups throughout BC. Working in partnership with the United Way, we've actually been able to provide 10,000 child car seats to children and families in need over the last 8 years, which is awesome. These are families who would otherwise may have gone without access to safe or reliable seats for their children. A lot of people don't even realize that car seats have expiry dates. As you can imagine, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a negative impact on our in-person information sessions or hands-on workshops. But that doesn't mean that we have not continued working and creating new ways to bring information to you from afar. We continue to provide virtual information sessions to parent groups and provide virtual seat checks to individuals. If you visit our website at bcaa.com/car seat safety, you can quickly find our child car seat safety section, which has a drop-down menu with several options and links for further information. There you can also find what we call a community contacts list. And everybody on that list is a certified car seat educator like myself and can be reached directly to assist you with any questions or concerns you may have with your child car seat. I'm now going to show you an example of one of the types of videos that you can find on our website. This video shows you how to install an infant-only seat using 2 different methods.
Place the base on the vehicle seat. Ensure the base is reclined to the correct level by checking the level indicator on the base or the infant-only seat. Ensure the UAS is routed through the correct belt path. Attach the UAS to the lower universal anchor bars. Apply pressure to the center of the base and pull the UAS tight. Test for tightness by holding both sides of the base at the belt path and gently moving it from side to side. There should be no more than 1 inch of movement. Thread the seatbelt through the correct belt path in the base, according to manufacturer's instructions. Buckle the seatbelt. Now lock the seatbelt by slowly pulling the webbing all the way out. Let it retract a short distance, then tug on the seatbelt. It should now be locked. Apply pressure to the center of the base and pull the seatbelt tight. Test for tightness by holding both sides of the base at the belt path and gently moving it from side to side. There should be no more than 1 inch of movement. Attach the infant seat to the base. Adjust the handle on the infant seat to the correct position according to manufacturer's instructions.
All right, so if you are interested in attending a virtual information session, please encourage your local community programs to reach out to us. Or if you have any further questions, direct them to our community impact email that was shared with you all, and we will be happy to help. Thank you for your time today. I'm now going to pass it along to Gina Coots with Métis Nation BC.
Hi, I'm Gina Coots. Thank you, Haley. And I'm just going to tell you about our Métis Family Connections program. So I'm going to share a little PowerPoint with you first. So the Métis Family Connections program is an initiative of the Métis Nation of BC. And who are the Métis? Well, the Métis means a person who self-identifies as Métis, is distinct from other Aboriginal peoples, is of historic Métis ancestry, and who is accepted by the Métis Nation. MNBC represents 38 Métis chartered communities throughout the 7 regions in the province of British Columbia. The Métis Family Connections Program, which is a program that I work for, is a free program for Métis families throughout BC. It helps connect Métis families. Both Métis citizens and self-identified Métis people can register for the program. The program is for children from birth to age 8 years old, and it's a connection and referral program, connecting Métis families to early years programming, early intervention services, culture, and community. The Métis Family Connections Program currently is serving within the 7 regions of the province, from the Northwest, Northeast, North Central, Thompson, Okanagan, Kootenay, Lower Mainland, and Vancouver Island. Throughout these regions, the Métis Family Connections Program currently provides 5 navigators now, connecting to Métis families. The Métis Family Connections navigators reach out by phone, email, and more to build relationships with Métis families, to help them navigate the supports and resources available in their communities, to connect them to agencies and services, to early years programming, and more. We also help connect them to cultural events and the chartered communities. And we also host wonderful Métis family camps in the summer. How does a Métis family enroll? Well, a self-identified Métis or registered Métis citizen with a child between the ages of birth to 8 years old can email métisearlyyears@mnbc.ca for more information. The contact information was also in the chat there, and it will be on the Early Years website. Now I'm going to share a PowerPoint, or sorry, a short video. Actually, it's a long video, but I'm only going to show part of it. Oh my goodness, where did it go? I am really sorry. My video seems to have disappeared. So I guess I'm not going to show that. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll pass it back to Amber, our host. Thank you.
Wow, well, thank you, everyone. I want to thank the presenters for sharing such a vast amount of information over the past hour about what free resources and services are available during COVID. As the presenters said, all the information that you've heard today, as well as a recording of the fair, can be found on our website. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to take a peek at the website. So this is the Early Years website, NanaimoEarlyYears.org. As you can see, there's 2 buttons, one for the Healthy Start Fairs and another for all the resources and services in Nanaimo. When you click on the fairs, you're going to get all the information that you need about these fairs. You'll notice here that our next 2 virtual fairs are listed for 2021. So we have another fair, our next one on Saturday, March 6th from 11 to noon. And then we have another one following on Wednesday, April 7th from 12:30 to 1:30. So if you'd like to register for those fairs, please RSVP to me. And my email is on the poster here, NanaimoEarlyYears@telus.net. There'll be different speakers and different topics at each fair. So you're welcome to register. I'm going to go back here and click on the resources and services. So as you can see here, there's tons of boxes that we've added, and in each box has all these resources from Aboriginal services all the way down to Virtual Early Years Healthy Start Fair resources. And when you click on one of the boxes, it has each provider under there with a little blurb and how you can connect with them. So I invite you to take a look at the website on your own time, because it's really there to support you as families of Nanaimo. So we hope that you enjoyed the fair and that you received lots of useful information tonight. We have a short 9-question survey. It should take you less than 5 minutes. All the participants that were here today that fill out that survey will be mailed a $10 grocery gift card. So the survey closes a week from today. In order to get the link for the survey, you need to send me an email that says that you attended the fair. I will then email you back the survey link, which, once completed, will entitle you to the $10 grocery gift card. I will also send you a document with all the speakers' contact information on it, as well as information about the next 2 fairs and how you can register. So at this time, we're going to say goodbye, and I'm going to share my screen, and my contact information will pop up. It's in the chat right now, but the information will pop up for the next 5 minutes. So on behalf of my team, and we want to thank you so much for coming to the fair tonight. And we hope to see you at our next fair on March 6th.